As a high achiever, doing the work and taking the action isn't something that you shy away from, yeah? It's how we got addicted to the hustle culture of doing all the things. But what a lot of people don't tell you is that sooner or later, you're likely to hit both a wall and a ceiling on your earnings and a wall on your capacity to work harder and do more. But that doesn't happen when you work in alignment with the natural laws of the universe. When my client Alan came to me, he was already a successful realtor, but he'd reached a plateau and he knew that he couldn't work any harder or dedicate any more time to his business. His ambition hadn't diminished, but his zest and vitality most definitely had. Through working together, he 8 times his income within 6 weeks. And it wasn't through doing more, it was through doing things differently. Now, that's obviously Alan's story, and it unfolded really quickly for him because of where he was already. So your results might look a little bit different. But the principles that I'm about to share with you are universal. Okay, so here are the exact steps that I guided Alan through. I encourage you to follow them and realize for yourself that it's possible for you to have results like that too. And stick around to the end because step 3 is what trips most people up. Step 1 was redefining who Alan believed himself to be. So redefine who you believe yourself to be. We all have this mental image of who we are and what we're capable of. But when we understand that we're so much more than our small human self, we're able to look at things from a different vantage point. Yeah. When you become aware that you're the observer of your small human, you can get into the practice of giving your human self what they need in that moment. Okay, I want you to try this. Yeah. Close your eyes and take your consciousness up to the ceiling or up 6 feet above your head and look down at your human self. Can you see yourself sitting there? Yeah. Sometimes that takes a little bit of practice, so you might want to pause the video and just, try that out. So if you didn't see yourself, or even if you did, just notice your thoughts. Now, in both cases, you can appreciate that you became the observer and your little human self became the observed. From that observer state of consciousness, you're more tapped into your higher self and the unified field of all possibilities. If you meditate in this state of consciousness, it's easy to understand that your small self on the planet doesn't have to do it alone. You'll get intuitive guidance that will lead you to an easier way to achieve all of your goals. Now, sometimes it doesn't always seem to make sense because your small self doesn't see the whole picture and it doesn't always take a linear route. But when you follow your intuitive guidance, you'll understand looking back why that was the best route for you to take. So step 1 is to know who you are and follow the guidance from your highest self. Step 2 was to change the money story that Alan was living with through an alpha wave journey in which I took him through a well-known hypnotic countdown. We delved into the money lessons that he'd picked up during his life. And these were really common money stories that you've probably been brought up with yourself or at least heard about, right? These are things like money doesn't grow on trees, or you don't get anywhere without working really hard to get there. And suffering is just part of life. So through his increased awareness of these stories that often run subconsciously without us even knowing that they're running the show, he got to understand that nothing that he was taught was necessarily the truth with a capital T. He wrote out new beliefs about money that actually served his goals and then set about finding the evidence to prove those new beliefs right. For instance, since there are plenty of people who have created wealth without constant grind, we know that hustle isn't the only path, right? So go and find the beliefs that you currently hold about money, who can get money or what a person needs to do to get money, and consciously choose to release beliefs that don't serve your goals, yeah? Every time those old beliefs pop into your head, remind yourself that that isn't a choice that you're making anymore, and replace it with an empowering thought that serves your goals instead of working against them. So step 1 is to know who you really are, and step 2 is to align your beliefs with your ambitions and goals. And finally, step 3 is to live as the person who already has the life that you want. Now, what a lot of people get wrong with this step is that they go out and spend money that they don't actually have in the bank account, right? But that's not what this step means. This step is about creating an unwavering knowledge that creation starts in the mind and manifests into the external world. So living in the end, as Neville Goddard puts it, is training your thoughts and nervous system to respond to external events in the way that your human in your preferred reality would respond. So that means not freaking out when you're hit with an unexpected bill, because you know that you're fully resourced and completely supported at all times. It's noticing when you're living in the vibration of fear instead of living in the vibration of love. And it takes practice, because you probably aren't used to living that way. So you need to teach your default mode network, an area of your brain concerned with self-referential identity, who you choose to be now. And you obviously need to teach your nervous system not to freak out in unknown situations. But once your brain and nervous system learns who you are now through repetition of thought and behavior, your new way of being becomes your new normal. And that allows you to not only embrace the success that you have without imposter syndrome, but it also allows you to quantum leap into new levels of success that feel awesome and don't threaten to burn you out. Because once that new identity is fully embodied, life has no choice but to match the external reality with your internal creations. It does it by law, by the universal laws of attraction, assumption, the law of cause and effect, and the law of correspondence and vibration. This is the work that I do with my private clients and those in my group program and inside my free school community, which is also home to the free 14-day mini course, Rewire Your Brain for Aligned Success and Lasting Happiness. You'll find all the links you need in the description. And if you missed it, I recommend watching my previous video on allowing success to be easy, because it covers one of the biggest fears that a lot of my high-performing clients come to me with, which is the fear of losing everything you've built if you take your foot off the gas. So click there to watch that one next. I really look forward to seeing you in the community, and if I don't, well, just know that you're ready, and this is where it begins. I'll see you next time. Bye.